Hey guys, Morgan the Rebellious Reviewer. We talk about music, books, and movies. And today we're gonna be doing a companion piece to my reviewing every genre and rate your music challenge. This is reviewing every genre on Spotify. So, for those of you who don't know, there's a website called Every Noise, which features a list of all the Spotify genres from most popular to least popular. So, we're going to start from the top and work our way down. Today's genre is pop. And the song at the top of the pop playlist created by the creator of this website is Lush Life by Zara Larsson. So, we're going to review the album that song comes from, So Good by Zara Larsson. Before I throw it over to my imaginary friends, though, I'm going to briefly give my thoughts on this album. It's a mixed bag. It has some fun, catchy pop songs like the aforementioned Lush Life, as well as Only You, Never Forget You, Don't Let Me Be Yours, Ain't My Fault, and, of course, Symphony. It also has some annoying songs like So Good, I Can't Fall in Love Without You, which is just really manipulative, and the badly produced One Mississippi. Not to mention my least favorite, the forced dance hall-esque track, Sundown. Everything else is pretty generic, so yeah, mixed bag but leaning slightly towards the positive. 6 out of 10. Anyway, let's get started with the voice acting, shall we? Hey guys, Blaze Flarington here, and this is Bolt Thunderstone, Skyler Wing, Houdini Presto, Forrest Woods, and Draven Onyx. Today we're starting yet another new series. This time we're going to be reviewing an album from every genre on Spotify. Today's genre is pop, and today's album is So Good by Swedish pop singer Zara Larsson. So, Zara Larsson is an artist that I'd heard only 2 songs from prior to doing this video, both of which are on this album. Those songs are Never Forget You and Symphony, both of which I really like, so I was excited to check this project out. Unfortunately, the rest of this album does not live up to those standards. Lush Life is a fun song, Funeral has some nice dramatic bombast, Ain't My Fault is extremely catchy, and Don't Let Me Be Yours is solid. However, a good chunk of this album is badly produced, not particularly catchy or interesting pop music, with 2 genuine stinkers in the form of Make That Money Girl and One Mississippi. I will say I like Zara Larsson's voice. It's just a shame that everything else is so inconsistent. 6 out of 10. Wow, that's way nicer than I'm about to be. Let me guess, you're gonna give it a 1? Not quite. Sure, this album is terrible, with only 1 song that rises above mediocre. But it's no worse than any other bad pop album. Therefore, I can't give it as low of a score as you're thinking, Bolt. I can, however, say that the production is ugly and tinny. The songs have no vibrancy or color. Zara's voice is annoying, and the songwriting is extremely inconsistent. Ain't My Fault, in particular, has some of the worst synths ever. At best, it's a generic pop album, and at worst, it makes me want to drill my ears out. 3 out of 10. Now, are you gonna give it a 1, Bolt? Nope. In fact, I'll actually be nicer than you and say that this album has 6 good songs on it. Lush Life, Never Forget You, Symphony, and Ain't My Fault are all fun and catchy. and Don't Let Me Be Yours is solid, and as a dragon who's attracted to humans, Only You may have given me a hard-on. Yeah, however, I will admit that the other songs range from generic to bad. The worst songs have this moody, vaguely alternative pop sound, which is just boring and unremarkable. Then there's Sundown, which is a pathetic attempt at taking a good genre from a foreign country and making it your own. It's easily my least favorite song on the album. So yeah, it's a mixed bag. 5 out of 10. I mostly agree entirely with Draven. This album is hideous. The production is ugly, the lyrics are mostly terrible. Zara's singing is just okay, and the instrumentation mostly ranges from uninteresting to annoying. The only decent songs are Lush Life, Don't Let Me Be Yours, which are nothing special, but they're okay. Then, after waiting through 14 tracks of varying degrees of mediocre to bad, the closing track, Symphony, happens. I love this song. The classical elements really bring the super clean tropical house production to life, and Zara Larsson gives her best performance on this album. It's like going on a long, hard hike through the desert and finally finding an oasis at the tail end of the journey. I'll give this album the same score as Draven. 3 out of 10. Who wants to go next? Houdini will. I have a lot to say. Okay. To me, this is the definition of a nothing album. Almost half the songs are mediocre to decent, with a few bad songs sprinkled in, mostly during the back half. I agree that Sundown is terrible and So Good is mind-numbingly repetitive. However, what happened to this album between tracks 11 and 14? Those tracks are all bad. Everything else is tolerable, but nothing special or even all that good. 5 out of 10, and I'm curious to see what all Skyler has to say about this album. To me, it felt like it had very little going on. Okay, here goes nothing. I'll start with the somewhat positives, since they'll be quicker to list than the negatives. Symphony is passable due to the symphonic elements. That's about it. The only other song I don't hate here is Lush Life, and that's only because it's too generic to hate. Everything else is an ugly, dated, overproduced mess combined with bad singing and lyrics that range from bland to terrible. Also, Zara Larsson has no personality, and the only thing keeping her from being another Bebe Rexha or Anne-Marie is her slightly catchier melodies. It's not offensive enough for me to give it a 1, but I still feel like all of you were being too nice to it. I give this album a 2 out of 10. Wow, I thought my review would be the most negative. I thought you would give it a 1, honestly. There's worse pop music out there. Anyway, this album gets a combined score of 24 out of 60. That's less than 50%. Much worse than the start of the Rate Your Music Genre Challenge. And also, a lot worse than the other album we reviewed today, even. And we didn't like that one either. Apparently, we're not pop fans. The next genre in this series is rap, so we'll see if that fares any better. Maybe, but knowing you guys, I doubt it. Anyway, let's throw it back to Morgan. And that's my video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm Morgan the Rebellious Reviewer, and I'm out.